This is Benny Chapman, the creature from the Black Lagoon, withoutyourhead.com.
All right, and we're back. Welcome to Without Your Head, Benny Chapman, the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Gill Man. Welcome to Without Your Head.
Thank you. As we say in Hawaii, aloha. It's great to be with you guys and to talk to the fans.
Mm-hmm. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm doing fine. A couple of months ago, I didn't know if I was going to make it. I had shortness of breath, and they took me in, and I spent 6 days in intensive care. But right now, I feel fine. I feel great.
Well, that's very good.
And it's great to live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh,
that always
sure.
is.
Well, you know, we look at you people, all the weather that you guys get over there. It's unusual.
Right.
You know? But in Hawaii, it's so boring over here because, you know, we wake up, we have blue skies and white clouds.
Right. And you wish maybe it could snow once in a while?
Well, you know, the thing of it is, you know, now you guys get all the excitement. On Saturday, you go to McDonald's, you get a bag of hamburgers, you go stand on any corner and watch drive-by shootings. We don't get to do that here.
Well, I'm here on Cape Cod, so we don't get any of the drive-by shootings here. Not yet.
We do get the snow.
We do get the snow. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say we actually got a caller here, Knight Rider.
Okay.
You're on there with Benny Chapman. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I actually have a couple questions because I am the official Gilman Mark.
Oh, yeah.
He has got to be my favorite horror actor of all time.
Cool.
Well, thank you so very much.
Yeah, no problem, and I hope you're doing better after your emergency scare a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess you got that off my website.
That's the... Just let everybody know that's and it's -realgillman.com.
Yeah, right.
I actually wanted to get his thoughts on, and I don't know if he was contacted you to do it about, but in 2008, I think they're doing a remake of the original Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I just want to get his thoughts.
They're in process right now of doing a remake. And the producer is Gary Ross, whose father was one of the original writers of Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's ironic.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that's directing is Derek Eisner, whose father is Michael Eisner from Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope that they do it right. What I mean by that is don't change the character, because the Gill Man was not a frightening-looking person. He was just an unusual person.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to keep him that way. In other words, he was just unusual. And if you go see the movie again, remember, he was the good guy. They were the bad people.
Right, they're invading his home.
That's right. They were in other words, if you went home tonight and you found 10 people having a party in your living room, how would you feel?
Right.
Well, he's sitting there in his lagoon, and here come these people. And he, of course, we played it as, he fell in love with the girl, Beauty and the Beast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we tried to play it, and it worked out.
Definitely. Are you surprised it actually took them so long to remake the movie?
Well, I don't know how long it's taken them, because, the thing of it is, they didn't even call Julie and I to let us know.
Oh.
And so, not that, there are people ask me, would you do a cameo?
Mm-hmm.
I said, only if they didn't change the Gill Man. In other words, a couple of times they were going to do it, and I remember once they were going to make him look like, some savage-looking thing with 8 arms and all that.
Right.
And if they do that, all they're doing is making Julie and I happy, because our fans would get mad.
Right. Mm-hmm. They'll remember the original as being the best one.
Right.
Yeah, because he wasn't a bad-looking guy. He was just scaly and stayed out. Yeah, really, really. Well, you know that we were the first one to set two precedences. The first one is music in a movie. There was a certain thing that they would do when the gill man was, when he was near or about. There was a certain sound in the music. Well, there was a gentleman who borrowed. We don't say steal. He did the same thing, and he did it in Jaws.
Right.
In other words, whenever you heard that, you knew that Jaws was around someplace.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did the same thing in the Gillman.
Mm-hmm. Which you can hear if you go to your website.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Do you think that added a lot to the movie?
Oh, sure. Well, you see, in my day, I come from the old school, and I watched TCM and AMC all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But especially TCM, I just watched yesterday Now Voyager, with Betty Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And see, in those days, we used to use music in the background. That would set the precedence for the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Would be done by music. In other words, if you watch Casa, and then using shadows. In other words, you see shadows on the wall or up in the ceiling. But see, today they don't use that. They shoot everything in film, and there's no shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't use music. They don't set what's going on with music. So
it's not as much of a mood.
Yeah, and also we used to make movies. At the end of the movie, it would give you something to think about. In other words, today movies are so direct. You don't have to think about everything because everything's right on the screen.
You're right.
But in our day, it would give you something to think about. The movie would end, and the person would say, "Well, what happened?" Well, that's up to you. How do you think it should happen?
Mm-hmm.
That was the great thing about it. Yes.
I just want to say, speaking of AMC, you can vote on American Movie Classics on their website for the best monster of all time, and I believe you're up for that.
Oh,
yeah, they're up
to that.
They're doing it right now. In fact, they always keep me abreast of that and let me know what it is. They also have like the Hondo Award.
Mm-hmm. The Rondos?
Rondo I meant.
Yeah.
The Rondo Award.
Rondo. Oh, cool.
I don't know if you remember him.
Rondo Hatton?
Yeah, he was he was a wrestler, but he used to work a lot of movies, but he was really unusual looking.
Mm-hmm. The Creeper.
But
he ruled. I love that guy.
Yeah, he was. He was really, he wasn't no beauty, that's for sure. But he was very unusual looking.
What was the other question, Knight Rider?
Actually, before I get on to that question, I have to say something. I swear to God, I was flipping through the channel like 3 weeks ago. I think it was a Saturday, about 2:30 in the morning, and they actually had the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, they play it all the time. It's on AMC. Yeah, it comes on, I would say, about once every 2 months.
Yeah, I was watching it. I joined it. It was about 3/4 of the way done. I was like, crap, I missed.
You got to pick up the DVD?
Yeah, so when you get your Sunday... Yeah, so when you get your Sunday paper, look for the whole week on AMC, and you'll find a creature about once every 2 months.
Mm-hmm. What was the other question?
I just want to know, do you still have the suit from the movie?
Oh no, that suit disintegrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was made of foam. It was made of foam rubber, and after 50 years with the air, it would just be powder today.
Yeah.
So if anybody tells you that they have a suit or anything like that, just laugh at them and walk away.